a lot of people, especially the Kenyan context, a lot of people were getting into crypto because waliambiwa, this will give you a very quick return. Eka 1,000 sahi. I promise you jioni itakuwa 2,000. Zero knowledge, just greed.
Wait, like
that's not even gambling. That's greed. I launched my own Saruni coin, then I come tell you, by tomorrow we'll be at 100x. Yeah. And you give me your money. You're a fool. That's why I take it.
We've seen Kenyan bloggers, including some government officials, actually advertising some funny coins.
Yeah.
I think they're just coming people.
A few years ago, altcoins were the in thing, right?
Yeah.
Where everyone was talking about altcoins. And even now, it's still a thing. But if you look at where the industry is heading to, it's about utility. The conversation has now shifted. It's not about how much money can you make over 24 hours. It's about, okay, I'm launching a token. What will this token be actually used for? What problem is this token solving?
NFTs, where are they right now?
Somewhere in someone's computer we call the cloud. For me, I'm a big spender. Don't look at me and think I'm rich. I'm not rich. I'm just terrible at saving. Living beyond my means. You know that meme that says, living beyond my means. I'm a testament of that.
Hello traders, yet another episode of Bullish Banter in a series of macro conversations that we have been having over the last few weeks. I hope you're learning something. I know some of the conversation might be heavy, but dictionary, Google, ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity should have come in handy. We have another guest here, and this should be a very interesting conversation. And, as the colors of our t-shirts say, orange. No brainer, right?
Yeah, there's no second best.
Yes, second best asset. So far, you say it's digging further than oil. Yeah. Every week, this is if you want the juiciest frog, this is what Rufas says. If you want the juiciest frog, go for the best. So far, the frog is emaciated. All right, I'm your host Jesse. Rufas, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well.
Yeah.
Quite hopeful that the winter will be over soon.
We hope so. Maybe the guest today will come with some injection.
Am I Jesus?
You decide.
To get rid of winter.
You decide. You can introduce yourself.
So my name is Saruni Maina. I'm currently the regional operations lead for Binance in Africa. Mandated with expansion in terms of geography and product for the company. Okay. And above that, unfortunately, a crypto lover.
Okay.
Why
unfortunately?
Because of winter. First of all, spending by reading, and now we are in the thick of it.
What shall I see?
If only.
Okay. I think Binance is one of the companies in Africa that has basically, I would say, democratized their participation in crypto. Yeah. For yourself, how did you get into this very complicated business, cryptography and everything?
So I think the first time I ever heard about Bitcoin, which I think for a lot of people, their introduction to crypto is Bitcoin. Yeah. And again, for even more people, crypto and Bitcoin are synonymous, right? Whenever you say crypto, everyone thinks, oh, Bitcoin, right? So for me, the first time I heard of Bitcoin was back in university. That's about maybe 10, 12 years ago.
Yeah.
And then I ignored it. Much to my demise today, because I think maybe I'd have a jet and a private island somewhere.
Or at home?
No. I think back then, there's people who were doing it back then.
Yeah.
They're not just sitting at home.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're doing things.
Okay.
But anyway, so that's the first time I heard about it. But I quickly ignored it because there wasn't much information around what is this Bitcoin thing. It's just someone, the famous YouTube video, someone telling you buy.
Please.
No much explanation.
Please
and this is the future of money. You're like, how? Come on. Do you know CBK? What do you mean the future of money? So I totally ignored it, but kept a close watch on it, just looking and seeing, okay, what is this thing? On off. It wasn't like I was following it the way you'd follow news, for example.
Yeah.
And then fast forward, about 5 years later, you realize, okay, this thing has become huge.
Yeah.
And that time it was a height of crypto investments. Everyone was getting into the game to make money. There was no talk about what is the utility or how do we actually make use of crypto or how does it really become money.
Yeah.
It was wewe ingia ndani, wait for it to go up, toa pesa yako, you're happy. Exactly, yeah. So I found myself looking into the crypto world by chance. That time I was working at a company called Cheaper Cash. And the company was trying to power remittances. And of course, that time, stablecoins also starting to become a thing. And then now I really had to pay attention to what is this crypto thing and how do we look at it from a utility perspective. Yeah.
And since then, is it from an academic perspective that you got into where you are right now, or is it because maybe you made some, bitcoins and money?
Neither. Yeah, to be very honest, I only started holding Bitcoin about 2 years ago.
Okay.
So I know we usually say it's still early, but I was, based on when I knew about Bitcoin, I was late to the party. Because I would have joined a decade ago, but I didn't.
You'd have bought at 100.
Exactly. So for me, it's neither.
Okay.
It was now coming from having to know about it because of work, and then now realizing, okay, how do I get myself into it? So just collecting knowledge, hapa pale, some YouTube videos here, talking to people who know about it. At the end of the day, you find yourself, okay, you are now a bit more knowledgeable over what Bitcoin and the crypto industry is.
Yeah.
And then you turn that knowledge into something useful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right now, there are thousands of crypto coming in and out every day.
Yeah.
And in your engagement with people, how do you tell them, okay, right, like unfortunately recently there was that scam around December whereby you lock in 1,000 and you'll get a crazy percentage.
Hey.
There was a church elder who was caught up in that, I hear, or rather it was in the news. How did you come to discern all these and therefore find the most valuable asset classes to actually pack your money in, because you don't want to lose, but you also want to get that 100x return? And for any novice in this business, what is that one advice that you'd give them before they allocate their cash?
So for me, a personal rule that I follow, if there's no utility for whichever cryptocurrency or whichever token or whichever coin, I don't touch it. Sometimes you end up missing and you're like, wow, that would have been an S-class. But it's all good because I'm not yet rich enough to really gamble with the little money that I have. If I was the level of, I wouldn't say who, but the other day tuliona tukiekelewa 10 million kwa meza. If I was the level of that, I'd also take my 10 million and put it on some random Trump coin or whichever other coin, right? It's a better way to use your money. But because I'm not yet there, for me, I just look at it from what is the utility, right? So, of course, we don't consider stablecoins playing the same game as traditional crypto like Bitcoin and Ethereum and Solana, but that is a stepping stone for a lot of people. We want them to first understand the industry, understand the value of it. So you always tell them, okay, start with stablecoins. Buy a USDC here, hold it. Pay with it. Then you realize, okay, there is utility. And then now come and say, okay, just like the share market, ukiangalia NSE, New York Stock Exchange, whichever JSE, there's certain companies you're like, okay, this company seems to be doing well. It's backed by some interesting people. You want to follow it. So having that knowledge. So you look at Bitcoin, you're like, okay, there's governments now getting into Bitcoin. You realize, okay, it seems like it's stable enough now. It's sort of survived a bit of test of time. Then you can put your money into it.
Well, they have survived a lot.
So it's all about knowledge. You don't get into it because, and I think based on what you said about scams, a lot of people, especially the Kenyan context, a lot of people were getting into crypto because waliambiwa, this will give you a very quick return. Eka 1,000 sahi. I promise you jioni itakuwa 2,000. No, zero knowledge, just greed.
I mean, it has worked at some point. Like,
that's not even gambling. That's greed. Gambling has sense. Unajua the stake. You've done times 10, times 20. You're like, okay, this is my risk. With crypto, that's not gambling. If you're doing it, mtu amekwambia eti buy this random coin. Right now I launch my own Saruni coin. Then I come tell you, buy by tomorrow we'll be at 100x. And you give me your money. You're a fool. That's why I take it.
We've seen Kenyan bloggers, including some government officials, actually advertising some funny coins. I think they're just scamming people.
On the flip side of it all, isn't that ingenuity? Because if you can be able to create a coin with a certain market cap and list it on an exchange, and whatever, even if you rug pull people, isn't that ingenuity where the people are trying to find and build projects within the crypto ecosystem? Isn't that a positive to the industry? Because now people are trying to find, okay, which one will stick, which one will not stick, you know?
If humans were honest, I'd say yes. But the problem is we have so many people with ulterior motives.
Okay.
You don't know who's actually looking at it from a perspective of, I'm trying to create utility. And look at it from this angle, right? A few years ago, altcoins, let me use a more public-friendly language.
Yeah.
Altcoins were the in thing, right?
Yeah.
Where everyone was talking about altcoins. And even now, it's still a thing.
Yeah.
But if you look at where the industry is heading to, it's about utility. The conversation has now shifted. It's not about how much money can you make over 24 hours.
Yeah.
It's about, okay, I'm launching a token. What will this token be actually used for? What problem is this token solving? And then the value of that token will now be determined by the problem you're solving.
Going back to the altcoins era,
Yeah.
NFTs, where are they right now?
Somewhere in someone's computer we call the cloud. I wish I sold some NFTs.
Oh, you got some?
No, I never did. But I knew someone was a very good artist. But I was too late to the party to convert their art into NFTs.
I remember they used to call them the Right Creek Save Community.
Because I think that time I was in your era of preaching, get into BTC only. And I was like, yeah, you don't know what you're doing, because NFTs were very good for either new companies trying to launch, raise funds.
Yeah.
And it was more academic. I'm like, the most expensive NFT at the time was Jack Dorsey, the first tweet he made.
The first tweet, yes.
Right now is what? 10 cents. Something like
Well,
that.
some board apes really went high. Like,
Yeah.
it got to some level of madness.
That monkey thing also was quite expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, the monkey images.
Ish.
Now, to the current situation where we are in, the virtual asset providers bill,
Yeah.
and a lot of countries, including Trump himself, is basically creating legislations within the industry. How do you think those legislation apply to the crypto space, knowing very well it has been created under the guise of decentralization?
I know some people are going to throw rotten tomatoes at me for this,
Yeah.
but if we are going to move towards mass adoption in the
Yeah.
crypto space,
Yeah.
we need regulation.
Uh-huh.
Regulation protects the end user. Mama Mboga will never accept crypto unless they can trust it.
Yeah.
Only way Mama Mboga trusts crypto is if the government they trust says, this is safe, you can use it. Is if you can pay them with that crypto and they see the value instantly. So as much as, we started from an aspect of it's decentralized, it's the new money, it's supposed to replace central bank money.
Yeah.
The truth is, two truths can actually coexist.
Yeah.
We can still have that, but we can also push for mass adoption, and that is through regulation. And honestly, just being open to governments understanding what crypto is.
Yeah.
And not necessarily trying to understand it, or not control it, but trying to be able to put protective measures so that what wapotezi pesa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we have seen, I think right now we have I encountered at least 2 or 3 payment system, PSPs,
Yeah.
which operate within the crypto space. They do offer Satoshis, even Mama Mboga. I saw some guys who are going up all the way to Kitui, remote areas.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good thing, like how M-Pesa came to be with you.
Yeah.
Katululu, you can actually transact in crypto. Do you think we'll reach that level? Because I've seen, is it Jack Dorsey with the Bluetooth transaction of Satoshis and everything? Do you think we'll reach that level whereby actually crypto is actually competing, or Satoshis is actually competing with fiat in this aspect?
Yes, 100%. And it gets there with regulation.
Okay.
For example, let's look at Kenya, right?
Yeah.
If tomorrow we wake up and there's a licensing regime, licenses are issued to let's say 10 XO exchanges, to some PSPs as well, and now you can easily pay your Uber ride with your BTC without converting to fiat.
I've tried it; it's beautiful, but right now with the winter, it's not.
Well, no, even right now, you are not the one converting, but someone somewhere is converting it so that the recipient receives fiat. But the whole idea for crypto adoption is such that you can make your payment and he receives the same BTC. And he's okay with keeping that BTC.
Okay.
Isn't that what we want?
Yeah,
and for us to get there, there has to be regulation. Because we have to comply with the rules of money movement. If we are saying crypto is the new money, there has to be rules around money movement. So we will get there.
Okay.
And we are now the first step. A very painful step.
The legislation part.
Yes.
Okay. There's been this perception, and given that you've mentioned regulation, it's reaching everywhere, that crypto is used by, scammers, illicit transaction, drugs, and everything.
Yeah.
But coincidentally, they also use
Tax
banks.
cheats.
Yes, yeah. How do you address this to those who are hard-coded in the, I would say, against new technology, but quite efficient in the future that we are going into?
I don't have the figures offhand, but I can say this with utmost confidence.
Yeah.
Cash is used more for illicit activities.
Yeah.
Banks are used more for illicit activities than crypto has been till date.
Okay.
Reason being, once you do a crypto transaction, you cannot delete that transaction. Yes, you can hide behind some wallet address, you can think you're faceless. But if we want to find you, there's technology now to find you. It's the truth.
Yeah.
It is the truth. That anonymity that was sold, it's just a cover. There is some anonymity to it.
Yeah.
But if governments say now we are really tracking and cracking down on someone and you use crypto, they'll find you.
Not a hard thing,
Yeah, it's a three-way accounting system. Like there's your wallet, my wallet, and then the blockchain. So on the blockchain, all transactions are like permanent.
Okay.
So as soon as you've done something on the blockchain, then there is a sequence of ways you can
hongo,
follow them.
you'll see it. The day you off ramp, umejuza.
Yeah.
Now,
It's the truth.
It's true.
Unless you keep it there on chain.
Yeah.
In line with the payment system,
Yeah.
there are those people who prefer cold wallets. Is it getting into the market right now? Because I know right now most of it you'll have to import it from Canada and all these places. Are there some players within Kenya who are now like assisting guys to, set it up so that if you don't want it to be an exchange, you unataka uone pesa yako niko nayo hapa, even you can check it anytime you want.
Yeah.
How is the penetration like for this type of solutions to those who do not want to be on the exchange? And they would really not care what the current market price is for whatever crypto they're holding.
There's a reason why exchanges are the most popular way of accessing crypto.
Yeah.
As much as cold wallets would be secure and feel safer to some people, that is still a NAD thing. The access and penetration of cold wallets, especially in Kenya, is negligible. It is negligible.
Usiongee books sana.
Isn't it?
For some of us, if it gets to a certain amount, you start thinking, hey, you need to keep
You need
this
to
one
keep
as
it
well.
away.
Yeah.
Which is very true.
Yeah.
But relative to the number of people who actually are in the crypto space, how many people actually have cold wallets? Just
A very small number,
It's a small number. That's why I'm saying it's negligible. Because one, it's not something that is easily accessible.
Well, if a person is deep enough into the crypto industry and they have begun building a portfolio that they feel they need to put on on a cold wallet, they're most likely private. They're not going to tell you they have a cold wallet.
No, but again, like you said, very deep. So it's a NAD thing.
Do you know how many nuts we have in Kenya?
Countable.
Well, you're accountable.
No, it is countable. It is very countable. Otherwise, if the NADs were many, right, we'd be seeing the adoption in Kenya be very high.
That's why they are called nuts. They don't. They're not out there.
Social skills is a bit.
I'm not against them, by the way. No, don't get me wrong. I'm not against them. I'm actually all for keep your money safe the way you want. If you want to put your physical money under your mattress, you might as well put your crypto on your own cold wallet. Ikipotea imeenda, by the way.
Yeah.
So there's risk to it.
I think Kenya has been one of those countries in Africa whereby there's a huge volume of traders. From your perspective, if you would be allowed to answer this, is it that people are just, buying, holding speculative purposes, or actually store of their value for whichever date in the future? Some even doing it as a pension scheme. What is the current, in your interaction with a lot of traders, what are people doing within Binance ecosystem?
Money movement. Yes.
Like transactions, payments?
It is, excuse me, it is a lot of movement in terms of, actually, the biggest use case that we see is actually stablecoins.
Yeah.
Not even BTC, Ethereum, or Solana. It is stablecoins. So you're finding that whether it's people getting paid by stablecoins or them choosing to buy stablecoins to make payments abroad. Like I'm a big user that way. For me, I'll go to the P2P market. I'll buy some USDC, USDT because maybe I want to pay for something that is abroad. And if I go with my bank, the dollar rate will do things to me that
that you're not very proud of.
exactly. So I would rather go pale P2P where I'm getting a rate of 128, 129, very close to the market rate, and then I pay in dollars.
Okay.
I end up saving money, and that's what you'll see is replicated within the ecosystem right now in terms of the Kenyan market.
Okay.
If you look at the transactions, they are mostly USDC, USDT driven.
Yeah.
There is some growth in terms of speculative investments, where now people are talking more about, buy crypto, buy Bitcoin, buy Solana, buy BNB, buy BTC.
Futures and everything.
Futures, and traders, thank God for traders, are a very big proponent of that.
Yeah.
Because for some reason, they always give this free advice around. They're always like, if you want to buy, this is the new coin to buy. This is how you buy. This is futures explained well. How do you get into futures and all of that? And for a few people, it becomes interesting because now you're realizing, okay, maybe I might not want to put my money into the NSE.
Yeah.
I might not want to put my money into New York Stock Exchange.
Yeah.
Let me try crypto. Or maybe I already have those. I want to diversify. So now we are starting to see that. We're starting to see interest even from investment firms. Where they're saying, okay, our customers are coming and telling us, I want 15% of my portfolio in crypto.
Yeah.
Okay. This is not something that was there 1 year ago.
So is it the gain, the crazy returns, or it's the stability, given that we have seen the likes of Michael Saylor, the likes of BlackRock basically allocating the portfolio? Is it following the trend from abroad, or now I would say volatility has stabilized such that even if you put in that 15%, if you're a hedge fund or an investment firm, you are not worried that if things go down 20% or 40% down, it will be, dangerous.
Okay, so it is a mixture of all of them.
Yeah.
From regulation again, because again, investment funds and hedge funds feel comfortable investing in things that they feel protected on. They'd be like, okay, this is the government, whether it's the US government or the local government, they're like, okay, this government seems to be looking into this. We should look into it. And then again, following trends, if BlackRock is putting 100 billion into crypto, hey, you as a hedge fund manager, you're like, okay, maybe I need to do this as well. You see? And we have to thank Trump for a lot of the growth we are seeing.
Even though he launched the Trump coin and Melania coin.
What's on everything else? But for crypto, he's been very good for crypto. Let's be honest.
In terms
Speculators.
Of,
for the growth.
Regulatory infrastructure, I would say yes.
Yeah, but for the growth, it's been good.
In terms of liquidity,
But here, piano speculation.
Yeah, if you're an investor, small day movement should not worry you a lot.
You're there for 5 years, but
yesterday he was posting about what the Nasdaq has hit a new all-time high.
Yeah, Dow Jones and
markets have never been this high. You look at us on this other side holding Bitcoin, we're down 46% since last October.
Hold strong, my bro. Hold strong.
But
it's not easy.
However, this low is still it's not the lowest we've ever been.
Yeah, it's
so we are
it
still
could
okay.
even go further.
It could go down, but
okay. So you say that investment funds are coming in. There's usually these negative. Anytime crypto goes down 10%, all the people from their crevices will come out and say, "I told you it is going to zero, right?" And there is that takes precedence or clouds out all the effort perhaps you have been doing in terms of education. Is crypto education and the relevant information, not the speculative aspect, but also investment side. Is it getting enough push, or is there some still lacking aspect on it?
It's a tough time to do crypto education
when it's low,
especially when it's low.
But I tend to think it's the best time. Because
it has been high before.
Well, if you convince your uncle to buy at 126K, right now you will not be in good talking terms. If you convince him from now, when it's around 65K, the lower, then the probability that it will be much higher in a few weeks or months puts you on the right side of your uncle.
But think about it this way. We are trying to move education of crypto from being speculative into people actually understanding utility and what the crypto industry is all about. Right now, because of the downfall, quote unquote, for you to show someone that it's going to go high, you have to speculate. So we are going back to the old ways of saying, buy low, wait for it to go high. But we want to get away from that, right? That's the education part. We want crypto to be taken as seriously as shares of a company are taken. Because there's utility in the shares. We can only get there once we have an understanding amongst ourselves, even as crypto nerds, where we are saying, okay, we need to, when we are telling people about crypto, we're not telling them buy now so that you can sell when it's at 80. We're telling them buy now because crypto will allow you to travel to Dubai and still pay without having to do currency conversion. Buy now because if it goes high again, good for you. It's gone high, but one Bitcoin remains one Bitcoin. That is where we need to now shift our mindset to, where we are putting education on utility. And that's why stablecoins have really taken over.
Well, I would say, I know you're operating in in the whole of Africa. And you have seen like the level of poverty, especially among the 18 to 24 demographic. How do you convince someone about utility when all they need is
$10
to put in $100 and they want $200 in a few days or weeks?
Kutoka block pia ni utility.
I'm telling you, most young people who are in crypto,
they're here to make money, to survive.
to make money.
It's a good start though. It's a good start. Eventually, once they make that money, they'll realize there's more to it.
Yes.
What are some of the opportunities? Like somebody who is doing computer science, you say there's a lot of utility. Where can they get started so that they can contribute into this ecosystem? Can it be mining? Can it be creating a PSP? Can it be creating an exchange? You know, or even new coin? How do they navigate all this? And where would you advise them to start from, as they, of course, make a few dollars on it? Or
unfortunately, right now in Kenya, I don't think there's a university that actually teaches blockchain. I've had a few who probably have tried, but there's nothing solidified yet. And this should be a call to the Ministry of Education. Like, it's time. It's really time for us to look into not just crypto, like look into blockchain and crypto from a cryptography angle. You know, if we are saying as a country that we want to have innovations around the space,
Singapore.
New Singapore. We have to make sure that, you know, like you mentioned, the people in universities have to understand the tech itself. Not the... Hata mimi najua tu top layer, by the way, I won't lie. I know the top layer, I know the operations of it, but I don't know the technical parts. But innovation comes from understanding the technicalities. If we are going to tokenize, you know, guys like Project Mocha, we're tokenizing coffee farming. It's a very good project. That's a very good start, but it needs to scale up.
Yeah, we just got what? LSE shares now, people are able to trade on M-Pesa. You look at other countries, people are already moving shares onto the blockchain.
Literally, they've tokenized shares.
Yes.
And this is the thing that, you know, we've been trying to tell NSE. We need to tokenize our stock exchange. We're not saying close what is already there. We're just saying tokenize it. You know, let's have a parallel market. We see what's going to happen, you know?
I think it's under some sandbox right now, something like that.
Eco too, but you know how things here move. Snail space is New Singapore, ni kama tuna railway, electric trains.
Skuma kidogo. Faili patikane.
Faili patikane waseme, okay, now we're gonna do this.
We have had 3 or 4 guests here within the crypto space. One from the tax policy expert, one from the building space on PSP, and now yourself from this side of the exchange.
We also had the co-founder of Tando.
Yes.
Very good guys.
Yes. Tax policy, how do you advise people? You know, people tend to think about evading, but it's responsible as a citizen to lipo ushuru tujitegemee.
You know, the truth is, we must pay tax.
Yes.
The unfortunate bit is people feel that the tax is being misused.
Yeah.
If you actually look at a lot of conversations, people are not against paying tax.
Okay.
People are against paying tax because it's being misused. Because people are feeling like you're taking 30, 35 to 40% of my salary, and then I go to the hospital and I'm still paying the bill.
Okay.
Like, that misuse is what is, and that's another separate conversation. But when it comes to taxation and tax policy on crypto, there's still a bit of misunderstanding with the regulators and how crypto works.
Okay.
Unfortunately, there is these, it's not really misinformation, but there's this big figure that is always moving around, you know, where we say there's $2 billion that was transacted in Kenya, you know, in the crypto space. You know, when the taxman looks at that $2 billion, anajiambia, if I just have 0.5%, all my deficit imeisha. My collection deficit. Taxman mwenyewe anajambia nimetoka block. You know, I don't need to go borrow anywhere. Imetosha. And that's where the misconception is coming from, because you're seeing a $2 billion value, but you're forgetting part of that value could be me moving from USDT to M-Pesa. Part of that value could be me moving from Binance to Tando. But because that's how it's counted.
Yeah.
They say, oh, we moved
So
$2
the total
billion.
notional
Yes,
volumes,
it's the
not
tot-
the
yes.
real
It's
capital
not,
gains.
It's not unique.
There's
Not
also
even,
the
not even,
perpetual traders.
yes, let's not even get to gains. Just the volumes itself, it's not even unique volume.
Yeah.
Where we are saying, you sending to him, that's a unique transaction.
Yeah.
Right? We can count that.
Yeah.
But him of ramping will be counted again.
Okay.
As another, so you send him 1,000, your ramps at 1,000, it's counted.
Yeah.
If you have ramped the 1,000 through me and I received it,
Yeah.
that's another count. So your $1,000 has been counted 3 times.
Yeah.
But it's still $1,000.
It's still $1,000. But sasa to my reporters,
Yeah.
we moved $3,000 in Kenya. So that's the problem that with the policy right now. The policy is looking at it from that angle of, but you guys have a lot of money, you're moving a lot of money. Yet it's actually supposed to be looked at, okay, this is a simple transaction. Where do we tax?
Okay.
Do we tax a transaction of money movement from person A to person B? We don't do that when you're sending money via bank.
Okay.
So why should we tax crypto for that?
So are you in conversation with these policy
Yes.
makers?
And we've actually, from the levels of KRA
Yeah.
to CBK to CMA to parliamentary committees,
Yeah.
explaining to them, showing them, unamwambia download the app. Shika hadi unampatia $10 USDT, unamwambia hebu shika hii bana. Now withdraw. Leta yangu ya tax. No, because you see, you have to explain to them. They have to understand. They have to know that we're not magically making money.
Okay.
It's okay if you want to tax gains.
Yeah.
It's fine. That is a different conversation.
Yeah.
But transactions, that is where they are losing the ball.
Okay. How are the banks taking this? Because young Gen Zs are genuinely, besides like Rufas said, they want to make money.
Yeah.
And then once you make money, you find the convenient in it. Like I want to pay for maybe Netflix, I can just pay with my Ether TR20 and I'm good.
Yeah.
You want to transact something online, you can do it easily.
Yeah.
How are the banks taking it? Because, at some point back in the day, you could not get crypto transactions.
Yes.
But right now, if you look at even peer-to-peer,
Yeah.
I won't mention the bank, but you know it.
Kuna ule ameshikilia P2P hivi.
How are they taking it from their management perspective and enabling this development in the tech sector?
Very interestingly, right now banks are very open.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's why I was saying regulation is important because it changes the mindsets of even institutions that were previously skeptical.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of banks who even come and said, hey, can we sit down?
Yeah.
Let's see how we can do this thing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of opportunities,
Wait, is the CBK paper that was done in 2015 still in force?
I don't
The circular.
think so. It was never recalled by it was never
Yeah.
officially recalled.
It remained as a
However,
cautionary.
yes, it was a cautionary notice.
Yeah.
But now with the law,
Yeah.
I think that supersedes the cautionary notice.
Yeah.
Because the law says crypto is no longer legal.
Yes.
No one has been licensed as an exchange yet.
Yeah.
But it's not illegal.
So-
It's not illegal for you to hold your crypto. It's not illegal for you to use your crypto for payments.
Yes.
That is no longer illegal.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if the banks themselves have no appetite for crypto, that's on their level. That's their own compliance level.
Yeah.
But they can't keep mentioning the same cautionary notice and saying CBK said, and now you can go and say, no. The law is very clear. They now understand this thing. As much as we are waiting for subsidiary legislation,
Yeah.
it's no longer illegal. If a bank at this point, because we are that gray area,
Yeah.
if the bank decides, okay, we will serve you to this extent, they're able to do so.
And
And
Kenyans
that is
love
why
the
we are
gray
saying,
area.
yes, that's why we're saying there's banks that are already doing that.
Okay.
There's banks that stopped shutting down people. They're like, okay, Nisawa, we've understood.
Yeah.
So they just follow the normal, financial reporting laws,
Exactly.
regulations.
Yes,
and
as long
everything.
as you, especially AML.
Yeah. Very important.
AML is
Yeah.
very, very important.
Okay.
So once they stick to that, what we are going to be seeing,
ML is anti-money laundering
yeah.
laws and what is it?
anti-terrorism financing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
What we're going to be seeing, especially from next year, because we are assuming this year is when we'll see some licenses getting issued, which will make banks a bit more comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe some hiring here and there. We'll see banks start hiring some crypto nerds.
Job opportunities.
No, it's true.
Bullish banter. na
Because
kazi.
they don't have the skills. So you'll start seeing some hiring here and there, you know, and then eventually you'll start seeing now products coming out where you can essentially move from your BTC on Binance, send it straight to your banking app, and you see the value there.
Yeah.
That means also some people might be earning their salaries in crypto as well.
And it will be legal.
Okay. Interesting that you mentioned that because in our industry, FXPesa, CMA has been a big part in regulating the players in the industry. And I think right now we are almost 13 brokerages within Kenya.
Yeah.
Like you said, there'll be some few exchanges which are coming up. And that means, again, banks will be, some way or some form in that region.
Yeah.
You know, with crypto, $10,000 is a small amount of money to move, right?
True.
Is it something that you're working with banks so that people, because the essence of crypto is you can transact unlimitless.
Yeah.
Is it something that now banks can be able to facilitate those 1 billion transactions?
Ideally, there is no technological hindrance
Yeah.
to transacting that on chain.
Yeah.
I think the issues might come in when you're trying to move $10 million into fiat. And then now you're met with the same limits that have always been there.
Okay.
Right now, when you look at the legislation, there's no limits that have been set as to how much in crypto you can transact. And I hope it stays that way.
Yeah, there's no limits, and the fees that you encounter on chain, they do not increase because you are sending a bigger amount.
A bigger amount, exactly.
Yeah. They only increase because of tech issues like the size of the transaction file, but never about the amount you are sending.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So technically, you can send $1 million for like $1. Yeah.
Okay. What about the transaction costs?
Yeah.
For the non-nerds like myself,
Wongo.
there's usually these on Ethereum. Let's go to Ethereum kidogo. This is what is it something fuel or something? How do they get determined so that you know if I'm going to transact below $100? Ironically, it's costlier, but if I do 1,000 plus, it's cheaper. What goes into the mathematics of those figures?
I wish I actually had a technical answer for you, but I'll refer to what you just said. I think it's also about the size of the transaction file itself, and also how busy the network is.
Okay.
The busier the network, the more expensive it is because now it costs more to complete your transaction.
Okay. Somebody who knows about this, please.
I need education as well. Actually, from a very technical perspective, I think that would be very interesting.
And
So
if you know it, please DM us. We'll have you here, and then you can share more.
Let's zoom out and count the wins.
Yeah.
You said you've been in the space for 10 years. Or 10 years plus. What would you say are the wins that you have seen in terms of the industry developing? Where if you mentioned cryptocurrency in 2014, someone would say, that's a scam. Today, they are like, nigani nasonga leo.
I would say, one, the trust factor.
Yeah.
That's one of the biggest wins. Even for a central bank to say, we are willing to listen to you.
Yeah.
Definitely the trust factor has changed completely. There's more trust in the industry. There's more trust from regulators per side. And that is a very good thing for the industry. When it comes to the market itself as well, we are seeing less scams right now as opposed to before because there's a bit more of education now. People are becoming more learned to understand, okay, if a random pastor launches a token, doesn't necessarily mean that it's real and that you'll get a return. That's a Ponzi scheme, and that's not crypto, right? Versus what is actually crypto and how do you invest in it. There's been some form of education thanks to a lot of players in the market. So that's number 2. And then number 3, just there's been a lot of maturity, even globally, which has trickled down to us, where you're like, okay, now if big banks, as we mentioned earlier, can look at crypto and not frown upon it, of course, it sends a signal to our local banks. So if your account is no longer shut down because you received or you did a P2P transaction, it gives you more confidence to say, okay, so I can actually transact now. I can feel more confident to do this kind of transactions. And if you ask, you say, no, I sold some crypto, they don't go screaming. They're like, oh, okay.
You can show the evidence and everything.
Exactly. There's a time, personal story, there's a time actually I got an interesting call from the FXPesa team at Safaricom. Because they wanted to understand some transactions and they had been done via P2P. I just showed them my Binance wallet. And I was like, this is where I sold, this is the equivalent, this is where I sold, this is the equivalent. Oh, okay, sawa, ini sawa. Enda. So a few years ago ningetiwa DCI.
Of which ingekuwa ngumu kujitetea.
Hapo sasa kwanza before waeleze crypto ni nini. Alafu waone ile balance aseme anataka kidogo.
A few satoshi.
Give me kidogo. Toa $1 hapa ndani bana.
Now,
okay, some insider info. Mainly because you are at Binance. Who is beating Kenya in terms of crypto adoption, especially around Africa?
Who's beating Kenya? But this is not even insider info. This is public knowledge. The biggest competitor to Kenya is, of course, Nigeria, which is, okay, they're number 1.
Population, right?
Because of population, right? Kenya, I think what makes Kenya stand out is that whenever we, like I mentioned earlier, if you look at the Kenyan crypto transactions, it's mostly USDT, USDC. That money usually leaves. Nigeria, they use it for hedging. They'll buy USDC, USDT and keep it. So it stays within their wallets. Kenyans send the money in and out, which increases our transaction volumes, makes our adoption seem much higher. But if you were to look at actual numbers, you'll see, of course, Nigeria has higher because of population, but Kenya still is a leader in terms of...
We apply.
Yes, actually that application, they are money moving. Kenya is still a top leader. You know, and then there's the likes of South Africa. There's the likes of Ghana as well. Ghana is coming up really quick. So those are the markets to watch.
Oh, so we keep our eyes on Afghanistan.
But also Central Africa is actually very huge as well. Very, very huge.
Now, remember the saga of FTX. So why not use influencers in Kenya to push the crypto narrative?
So,
because what wanataka gig.
Ndio, watu wanataka gig. But I think it's also a matter of being a subject matter. You know, you have to really understand what it is that you're pushing. Unlike traditional influencing, where you are sent a brief on WhatsApp, unaenda una copy paste. This is people's money. If winter comes again, and they come for you,
what are you gonna do?
Exactly. You know, but someone will come and say, "You advised me. You told me to buy this. Nimeinunua leo at 67. Nimeamka ikiwa 60. Where's my 7,000?
Stop it from going down."
Exactly. Tunaanza kukuita investor. So it's just a cautionary matter. Just trying to understand whoever you want to engage. And I think this is something that is applied across the whole world. For you to engage anyone in financial matters, you really try not to advise people on what to buy or what to do. You can advise them on the brand. You know, I can come and tell you, oh, this brand is nice. You know, that exchange with yellow and black is the best. But you can say all of that and tell someone, use this exchange because we trust it. That's fine. Right? But if I come and tell you, buy this particular coin, that is direct financial advice. And if something goes wrong,
you are liable.
You are liable for it. So even you as an exchange, you don't want to engage influencers. You tell them, we endorse you to buy X, Y, or Z.
Unaenda anaambia client full margin.
Eka yote. Eka 10 million yako hapo la.
Don't worry. It will be 20 in a few
Imagine.
Now, Saruni, you know, in this podcast, people loot and then they pack it somewhere. Yeah, so where do you distribute your loot, you know?
Where do you pack?
We want to know.
Where is the hole? Where you have
the juiciest frog.
In BTC, BNB, and Ethereum.
Hiyo ndio currency ya kazi.
Kimaliza.
Ukifika nyumbani, hiyo uone.
Kawa ya Java itanunuliwa huko.
Itanunuliwa wapi?
Tell us. If there's some which you can share.
Well, for me, I'm a big spender.
Okay. Yeah, we are.
I always joke and say, I always joke and say, you know, don't look at me and think I'm rich. I'm not rich. I'm just terrible at saving. You know, living beyond my means. You know that meme that says, how do you become so rich? How do you enjoy? How do you, enjoy the kind of lifestyle you have? Living beyond my means. I'm a testament to that.
You don't want the limit. You want to work harder to cover the limit.
Actually, you see, and this is not financial advice, but I'm just saying, sometimes it works. You know, there's like a motivation when you go and see, hey, nimetumia pesa yangu, nimenunua gari. Then you start thinking, say zilala njaa by the way. No, I need to get serious. I need to get a serious job, you know. I need to get side hustles. I need to open a business. I need to be an operator somewhere. I need to unlock, you know, businesses for other people. It becomes a motivation factor. So for me, that is my way, to be very honest. It's a matter of I love cars. They make me happy. I'll spend my money on them. I love traveling as well. They make me happy. I'll spend my money there. And that becomes motivation to make more money. Wazazi wanaamini shamba kamogoda mahali ka 50 by 100. Mimi namwambia Table Mountain is better. Unaniambia kuna kashamba sijui ndani ya Kamulu 10 kilometers from Tamak ya 150k. Nakwambia hiyo ni return ticket to Cape Town bwana. Memories are forever.
Now that you have mentioned traveling.
Dizen.
I've listened. Now that you have traveled, what is it that makes, I would say, the participants in Kenya, especially if you have traveled and engaged with crypto enthusiasts around the world, what is it that you think Kenyans or rather is lacking in Kenya that from your exposure out there would be valuable in this space?
Nothing. In crypto terms? Bana. Kenya is way ahead.
Okay.
Right now, you can use your Satoshis to make a payment into M-Pesa.
Okay.
That is true.
Interesting.
So many countries, you can't do that. Those that seem more advanced than we are, you cannot do that. Look at how vibrant our P2P market is.
True.
Both on exchanges and off exchanges.
Saa 6 usiku on a Friday.
Miliaibiza. Uko hapo we, Rufas bana.
Unaona mtu wa
Tuwale address ulisema ni gani?
Mtu wa P2P respond.
Manze.
Unaambia bill.
But you see, the beauty of that is now, because now we have, we have tools, but that allow you to go from your crypto into Paybill. You no longer need to worry about being P2P. Yes.
Over the December holiday, I enjoyed it a lot. Momo and the Paybill option.
Exactly. Just make your payment. Peace of mind.
It's very simple.
You're not worried that P2P trader melala mahali. Ama akona wewe napiga shots kona. Uko like, wait, ule msendo ndo nimetumia ya city yangu.
Now, as we come to a close, where do you see the crypto space in Kenya going? We have legislations already. We have exchanges which are lining to, of course, seek the licensing. What is it that you see in the future that will make crypto, I would say, sort of mainstream? The same way NSE has been, the same way Forex trading has been, the same way, MMF has become mainstream. What is it that is coming in the future?
Education. I'm going to sound like a broken record, but education. It has to start from grassroots. It has to start from young kids. One of the things I like, and I wish I carried it, Binance has a crypto ABCs book, and it's purely for kids. Alphabetically ordered, showing them keywords within the crypto space and the blockchain space. That creates interest. The next generation.
Should have brought 3.
I actually should have. And I will, one way or the other, I'll make sure you guys get one.
Amazing.
On 21st of February, tutafute.
We have an event, yes.
Actually, yes. During that, yes. I'll make sure we come and look at it because it's very nice because it's one of the things that we like to see more people do, especially locally. Local players. Can we turn this content into something that Mamamboga can understand? Education will be the gateway.
So if I can bet well, and I bet you are going to buy yet another car.
Lord, they have spoken. I cannot let your people down.
So the real question is, are you buying this winter, at this price?
Yes, I am. Aye, mbaya sana.
Not an investment advice.
Not an investment advice. Actually, nangoja bonus ingie. Yote fu pale ndani.
Clearly, living beyond your means.
Exactly.
I've seen that there are some people who are like hiding under USDT, USDC. Kingoja
safety net.
Kuaje kunyesha.
Why are you attacking me? Why are you doing that? See, that's what we do. I told you that application, it's cool on the phone.
No, you see, it's good because ukiona nyewe you are nini, you are inaitwa aje.
The value of your portfolio.
Not even the value. Like your appetite. Your risk appetite imefika mwisho. Just convert to USDT. Acha ikae tu hapo.
I love my 8 hours of sleep.
Acha ikae hapo. At least hiyo kesho ukiamka your 1200 will be 1200. With the way BTC is going, your 1200 tomorrow might be 200.
Wait. From your
we don't 10%.
Hey, bana. Unashangaa nani ana trade usiku, nani ana dump usiku tukiwa tumelala.
Michael Saylor.
Lakini Michael Saylor anasema hakudump. Michael Saylor amesema he's even looking for loans to buy more.
But who will loan him?
He's getting.
He's gonna get it. You know why? Everyone knows it's gonna go back up. Okay, let me not say everyone. Most people believe it's gonna go back up, and he's good for the money. Hata crypto kianguka, he has other assets za kulipa loan.
Okay.
Pia ukitaka unaweza nipatia kidogo nikuonyeshe.
Now, as we come to an end, what are some of the books maybe you could recommend besides the ABCs that we'll give out on 21st? What are some of the books that you have come to read that have actually inspired how you have been in the game and obviously improve your knowledge?
Muuliza swali ngumu. I hate reading.
Yeah.
I won't even pretend. Okay. You know, a while back, nilikuwa naona wasichana Twitter wana post the way they like men who read. You go to a coffee shop, you find them with a book. So I was trying that aesthetic.
Co-working shop.
Unaenda pale kwa Coffee and Bagels na kakitabu. Kwa hiyo kitabu hapo ndani simu na scroll. But I genuinely hate reading.
Okay.
So for me, it's video content.
Okay.
And again, not to be direct plugging, but
It's okay.
Binance Academy has really helped me, generally speaking, because the content there is video format. That, for me, it works. I know kuna watu penda kusoma, and there's books for that. I guess you can find namweke links, but for me, I can't recommend that.
Okay.
As in, I can't recommend the books because I don't know them. And then, now I've forgotten the name of this YouTube channel.
Crypto 101.
Actually, I've actually been on that as well. But yes, there's a couple of YouTube channels. Of course, usiende zile wako na 2 views. Ama 2 subscribers, usidanganywe. Look for a channel that looks credible.
They're just starting.
Hey! In this case, we're after credibility. Look for a channel that is credible, you know, like Bullish Banter.
Yes.
And get knowledge. Get to understand what the crypto space is. That is what really helped me. And the most way to actually learn is practical.
Okay.
When ununua hiyo USDT, kama uamini crypto ingine, just buy that USDT. Keep it there. Kuja after 2 days uangalie kama bado iko.
And in terms of choosing an exchange, you know, for us, we started with the local Bitcoins, and we moved across.
Huyo kijana amekapitia.
Ikafungwa. Now here we are. And I'm sure before you are where you are, you know, maneuver. What are some of the rules? Because, you know, clearly how FTX fell, it shook the industry. True. It was not the only one. How would you recommend somebody? Yes, black and yellow is good, but also Bayern Munich is equally good.
Equally good, yes. Bayern Munich is a good team.
If you go that one.
I know. Kuna watu itawapita. But yeah, honestly, right now, with the way the climate is, look at regulation. Which exchanges are actually following regulation? And you know, it's not just the black and yellow team. You know, there's top 3, top 4 who are actually really following. They're like, okay, we want to be regulated because that shows people can trust us. They're not shying away from regulation. They're not throwing F-words at regulation. That is one. Number 2, look at their liquidity. This is public information if the exchange wants to talk about it. Because liquidity means your money will be safe. It means if you're trying to trade, they are good for the money.
They can pay you.
You're not trading with a brokey.
Your money is safu.
Pia safu, which again, you see, I'm trying to show that there's more than just black and yellow, which is the truth. We want the whole industry to actually see value and grow together. That is why safu, for example, is very public knowledge. It's to also try and show other exchanges, this is the direction. We need to protect users. And the beauty of it is the top 4 exchanges right now all protect users. Good customer support. You know, usifanye some mistakes on P2P and suddenly you're trying to get customer support for 24 days, other hours, a whole month. Ukijibiwa tu na bot. So good customer support.
I went through that recently. I won't name names, but...
Yes, but you see, such kind of thing. And then the other thing is ask around. Ask people's experiences. You know, I've used... Actually, I think right now I have every exchange that you could think of on my phone. And I can give you advice and say, oh, if you're in this country, this is the best one. If you're in this other country, it's the best one. If you want to do ABCD, it's the best one. If you want to hold, it's the best one. Everyone has something that is good because there's those unajua tu kama nataka kuweka pesa by the way and I don't want a cold wallet, probably Black and Dead are the best because they have safu. kama nataka kutrade P2P maybe kuna ule mwenye unaona okay maybe Bybit their nini is a bit better chenye ende hapo. Na kuna ule mwenye unasema huyu ana customer support. Huyu ndaiweka tu for airdrops.
Kwingine ni zero trust bana.
Yes.
Hostile environment.
Kabisa.
Nimeulizwa hii swali chini ya meza. How do people get job at Binance?
Well, the jobs are actually always published. Like right now, Binance is hiring 3 roles that I know of. There's a marketing manager role, growth manager role, and a business development for payments.
Is that remote or Kenya?
Fully remote, 100%, but it's for Africa. This is actually very specific for Africa. So go to Binance Careers. Eka hapo, if your CV is strong, look for me, I'll give you a recommendation.
Bullish Banter.
Nalipa na dola.
Hiyo ni depend venye unataka.
Na ushuru lazima sifu.
Na hiyo lazima actually utaambiwa na HR atakwambia ushuru lazima ulipe. Usifikirie hapo utatoroka. Hiyo utoroka.
Saruni, where can people find you besides on the fuel station?
Hey. VHC by hivyo. It is not that bad. It is not that bad. At least full tank inamaliza wiki.
Ni within Nairobi, si ndio?
Within Nairobi.
Hatujafika Machakos.
Anyway, so online. You can find me on Twitter. I refuse to call it X. Saruni BM. You can find me on LinkedIn for those looking to connect professionally. If you're looking to hang out, mushinda tu kwa nyumba yangu.
Okay.
But
pesa yangu tu.
But unaweza nipata kwa events mahali.
Definitely. Yeah, hata sisi tutakuwa huko. Yeah. Anyway.
Kuje bana. Na kuje na BMW.
We see your confidence in motion.
Abu nunua crypto uone.
Okay. Guys, before we wrap it up, 21st of February, we have hopefully another session with Saruni and other industry players within different fields. Hopefully you'll get to learn more, interact more. Bullish Banter, first event of the year. And as we have told you, we are going on a different tangent. So if you're a trader and you're looking for other avenues to, invest or your funds or even explore career-wise, you have options from those guests whom we'll host. And I hope you're learning something. Of course, after this, we are going back to CFDs and trading. So
there will be a big debate, mostly concerning trading on a live account versus the prop firm traders. So pesa yako unaweka kwa prop firm ama kwa real account. So that will be a big debate. We'll be bringing in the top industry experts on NSE, investing offshore, crypto, and of course, Forex.
Panel session early in the morning, so 9 a.m. on Saturday. I know it's hard to wake up, but worth it. So 1 hour, quite informative. Sorry. Until next time, stay bullish.